Okay, so if you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep on getting in my own way? Why do I always ruin my progress just when things are going really well? Or why do I sabotage things that I say that I want? Just take a slow breath, okay, because this conversation may change the way that you see yourself forever in the best possible way. So, what we're going to be talking about today is self sabotage, okay, but not from that we'll just stop doing it, it's crazy angle, but because that doesn't work. I want to show you what self sabotage really is, and it's not a sign of weakness or it's not a lack of discipline, self discipline, or failure. It is simply a protection strategy. So, let's unravel this very gently, okay, with lots of truth and compassion. So many people in this world silently carry this belief that if they were just stronger or better, they would not sabotage their goals. But the truth is this: you do not sabotage because you don't want the goal. You sabotage because a part of you does not feel safe having it. And so self sabotage isn't this like self betrayal, it's self protection. It's your brain trying to keep you safe from failure or like disappointment or judgment or visibility or change or success that demands more from you or rejection or the unknown. And once you see this, like once you understand and have this awareness, everything is going to click for you. So the psychology of self sabotage in the simplest forms, okay? Your brain has two core priorities. I speak about this so often in my business. It wants to keep you safe and it wants to keep you the same. Even if the same is not happy, like is not fulfilling, it's just familiar to you. And your brain always equates familiar stuff with safe. And so whenever you make a change or want to make a change, even if it's a positive change, your brain is always like scanning for potential risk. Like, what if this doesn't work? What if people judge me? What if I fail publicly? What if I succeed and I can't actually even maintain it? And so the moment this emotional risk feels way too high for you, your brain like throws up these protective behaviors to pull you back into the comfort zone, like into your familiar zone. And those are the behaviors that we call self-sabotage. So what does self-sabotage look like in the real world, in real life? It doesn't always look so dramatic. Often it's very subtle, okay? Very sneaky. It looks like delaying the start, forgetting your goals. Okay, it's like you forget, it's like, oh, did I set that goal? I completely forgot. Scrolling instead of focusing, quitting right before your breakthrough moment, suddenly losing motivation, maybe changing the plan for no reason at all, doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's like picking fights, staying busy with other things, or pretending that you don't even care anymore. Like, and to others, just looks like inconsistency, but to you, it feels like frustration because underneath, your nervous system is saying, this is too risky, let's retreat. Okay, we're not going to do anything new. So, a reframe here that's going to soften something hopefully inside you is what if part of you that is sabotaging you, okay, the part that is sabotaging you, isn't actually trying to ruin your life, okay, but it's trying to protect you from a younger version of yourself that once upon a time got hurt. You did something in the past, you got hurt, and now you know, I don't want to go and do that thing again. So there's so many patterns of self-sabotage that form when we are young. When we failed and we felt ashamed, or someone criticized us very harshly, or we stood out and we got judged, or we tried and we felt humiliated, or you succeeded and that pressure felt really huge, or maybe even love felt conditional at times on like depending on what you did. So your brain will always remember the sting of those moments. God, that was really crappy. And sabotage is your brain's way of saying, I don't want you to feel that pain again. Can you feel a little bit of like loving tenderness in knowing that that is true? This is not a battle against yourself. It's your brain and your body trying to keep you safe, okay? Based on outdated information. So how in the world do we change this pattern, especially since some of it is so ingrained in us? Here is the key. Understand that self-sabotage doesn't stop through discipline, okay, or through speaking terribly to yourself and thinking that's going to work. It stops via safety and self-trust. So the brain needs to learn that this time we can handle that. This time the risk is safe. This time we don't have to abandon ourselves. We're going to have our own back. So instead of pushing harder or shaming yourself, I want you to try a different approach. Number one is notice a pattern without judgment. If there is something you do and you know you're self-sabotaging yourself, just notice when it's happening and say, okay, that's a protective response. It's not failure. Once you have that awareness, it's going to change things for you. Sabotage is really strengthened by judgment, negative judgment of yourself, but awareness is the thing that weakens it. The second step is to lower the perceived threat. So make whatever step you're trying to do so tiny, so small, so gentle, and less exposing. Like, I'm not saying do less, but do it in a way that is going to make your brain feel safer. Tiny little baby steps. And the third step is to build those little tiny reps of self-trust, like going to the gym, you get better the more you go. And so choose those little tiny micro actions that you can actually follow through on, because every win that you have communicates safety to your nervous system. It's like, okay, I did that, I tried, and it's all well. And when you have that self trust, that, when you're building it in yourself, it turns down the volume on sabotage. And so I want you to know this, like, you can't bully yourself into growth. You can't shame yourself into consistency. You can't hate yourself into a life that you love. But you can heal the patterns, your past patterns, with understanding, safety, and self respect. Because as your nervous system learns, change isn't going to ruin you, destroy you. Okay, it's not the end of the world when you do something different. You can hold that discomfort and visibility and desire. That's when sabotage sort of loses its purpose. Now, you don't need to have like protection from a life that you trust yourself to live. So, a little gentle exercise for you this week. I want you to think of one area that you are regularly sabotaging yourself, and ask yourself very softly, very kindly, where is my brain trying to protect me? Okay, what is it doing here? And ask yourself, what's one tiny little step that I can take anyway? A safe little step. And that is how the beginning pattern, a new pattern emerges. Not through forcing yourself, but through compassion-led change and courage, okay? You take that courageous little step that leads to change very slowly and surely. So if this has landed for you, I've created a free guide with 5 thought shifts that are going to help you get out of your head and into gentle, aligned action in a way that feels so safe and not overwhelming. And so if you're ready to stop fighting yourself and start working with your brain, you want your brain to be working for you, not against you, the link is waiting for you in the description. So my final little thing is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's never been anything wrong with you. There's nothing broken that needs fixing. Self-sabotage is a safety strategy, and safety can be rewired. Understand that. You are absolutely capable of becoming the version of you that follows through with calm, confidence, and self-trust. And so if this has spoken to you, just tell me in the comments what is one thing, just one thing that you're ready to approach with more compassion towards yourself when you're speaking to yourself instead of criticism this week. Because I'm always here cheering for your growth, just gently, slowly, and surely, my friend.